You know what? The 2028 presidential election is 2.5 years away. Nobody's really officially announced. The primary, nowhere close to starting. And half the people that I'm about to mention have probably told themselves that they're not running, which is what people say right up until the moment that they announce that they're running. And yet, I want to have a little fun because the field, it's already taking shape. There's the prediction markets, which, by the way, I hate, but God, they put out some good data. They're already pricing candidates. Donor conversations, they're happening. And there is real value in taking a clear-eyed progressive look at who's out there, what's real, what's fantasy, and what the party's going to do before any of this becomes coherent. So this is early, it's opinionated, it is by far nowhere close to in-depth, and it's absolutely subject to being wrong. But I want to look at who's out there. And again, a note on these prediction markets, because it is worth saying, aside from all of the problems and all their entanglements with Don Jr. and all of that, Polymarket and Kalshi have Democratic primary data, and it's genuinely interesting to look at. But I also want to be clear that these are unregulated gambling markets where people are betting real money on the craziest stuff. They're not polls. And they only reflect the beliefs and bets of the people that are on those platforms. Younger, more online, and in many cases might actually be more progressive than the median Democratic voter. So treat that as one data point, not gospel. That said, they're moving faster than traditional polls, and they can pick up momentum and show things before surveys catch it. So it's worth watching. I actually think you should be paying attention, but also be skeptical to the prediction markets, to all of the polls. And the names you're going to see the most often. You see Governor Gavin Newsom out of California. He is the most discussed, the most funded, and most obvious. And right now, he's running an invisible campaign. Shows up on Fox News, he's fighting, he's on all the late night shows, and he's doing all that when most Democrats are hiding. He does have executive experience. The case against him? He's a California corporate Democrat, and that's struggled everywhere with median voters. And there's a real version of this where he wins the primary and he can lose Michigan because he does play as that corporate elite Democrat. But God, is he funny. Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan, she is highly favorable. Genuine Midwestern crossover appeal, a track record of winning a swing state, and has stayed strategically quiet during the Trump years. She hasn't said anything too out there. Smart if she runs, but it's maddening if she keeps not running. Mallory McMorrow, I like her. We've talked about her before because Republicans are spending $45 million to stop her in her Senate race. She's a progressive long shot, but she could break through if she wins and become the face of the opposition over the next 2 years. Her funding, it's from small donors. That is genuinely remarkable. But will we elect a woman? Our country couldn't do it with Kamala. And that brings me to former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. He is out there in the media a lot, and I genuinely love the guy. But he faces a question that isn't answered, and it's a sad truth. Would middle America elect a gay president when we couldn't even elect a woman? I love Mayor Pete. Governor Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania, he's got swing state math. Carry Pennsylvania, and the map genuinely shifts. But, rightfully so, the progressive wing, they don't like him. His positioning on Israel and Gaza, it could complicate a primary. We saw it with Kamala. And then there's AOC. She would immediately nationalize the primary. She would generate tons of small dollar fundraising. I mean, we would talk record numbers. She would force a genuine ideological reckoning about what the Democratic Party is. But she also faces the same coalition math challenge that every movement candidate faces. Can you build a majority coalition in a general election out of a base that is more energized than its size? And that's what we saw with Bernie. And we haven't even talked about Kamala. Kamala at first seemed like she wasn't running. But if you look at any of the polls, not the prediction markets, the polls still show her leading. And we're hearing the rumors that she's thinking about running. Could she win after what has happened with Donald Trump? That is a huge unknown. And here's my honest progressive take, right? The realism. 2028, the Democratic primary will be decided by a question the party has been refusing to answer since way back in 2016, which is, are we trying to win back the working class voters that we've lost? Or are we trying to mobilize the progressive base that are leaving unmotivated? It's not the same strategy. They don't produce the same messaging, and they don't produce the same candidate. You end up with the DNC versus the Bernie bros. This party couldn't agree on Senate messaging plans, and they're going to have to get brutally clear on these questions before 2028 becomes real. So we have to win the House and the Senate in November, and then we have to go into 2028 with momentum, a bench full of people who've run on something, and a unified message. If we can't do that in November, then we're in a circular firing squad, and it's going to start well before 2027. So yes, we have to win the midterms first, but right now is when we have to unify our message. So hey, listen, I really like this video. It's really nice seeing you here. What do you say that we make this more than one video? Maybe make it long term. If you want to do that, do me a favor, subscribe. Get to know each other a little bit better. If you really want to get to know me, leave a comment. That'd be awesome. See where this goes. Love you.